First play we're going to look at, 2nd and 2, one of the Patriots' first offensive plays.
All right, here's the fun one now. It's Milton Williams. The Patriots coming out of nowhere today on this lovely Monday. And after Adam Schefter originally reports that Milton Williams and the Carolina Panthers were nearing a deal, kind of goes radio silent for a little while on all fronts. And then all of a sudden, Ian Rappaport comes in with the bang on the Twitter machine and says that the Patriots have come in and swooped up Milton Williams on a 4-year, $104 million contract. Little fun nugget here. He is now the highest paid Patriot in terms of average annual value in franchise history, more than Tom Brady. Tom Brady at his peak.
Which makes you feel how long Tom's been gone, where you're like, oh,
100%.
That's how much the market's changed. Yikes.
Exactly. And so, Milton Williams' average annual value is $26 million per season. Brady at his peak was making just a lowly $25 million. And so Milton Williams does, in fact, get signed. They get the job done. It was reported that the Cardinals were involved and another team was kind of lurking. And then it was reported as another team is involved as well. Turns out that was the New England Patriots. So Milton Williams, career high 5 sacks last season, also had 2.5 sacks in the Super Bowl of Patrick Mahomes and was a major part of that front for Philly in taking the Super Bowl home. He's only 26 years old. He's 6'3", 290 pounds. He was a 3rd-round pick out of Louisiana Tech in 2021. This is a guy who we've been talking about, and really Taylor's been talking about on Pat's Daily since about mid-season, when we've realized that, okay, this season's going awry. We need to focus on next year and how we can load up at different positions. And you had pointed at Milton Williams for a long time. So they changed their scheme under Terrell Williams, notably the one guy without a connection in this entire staff. But it's okay because he's also the best player in the class, and he's someone who they reward with a massive contract. So Taylor, tell me about this guy. Tell me why he fits. Tell me why you're so excited that they did get this done and made Milton Williams a New England Patriot.
Very rarely does a player with no major red flags who can make an immediate significant difference to your team hit the market. Now, the only reason Milton Williams hit the market is because the Eagles are outstanding at drafting. And They can keep cycling through these guys where it's like, unless you're a vested veteran or like a Zach Bond or someone where your role is just so integral, it's hard to change. You're probably going to end up going to another team after your rookie deal is up. And that's what happened with Milton Williams. Now, this is a guy who's 26 years old. He just turned 26, by the way. Mm-hmm. And he had the best pass rush season of his career. There were flashes. I know people are saying, and you can't argue, the efficiency went through the roof. He had never had a double-digit pass rush win rate season in his career and then went all the way up to almost 18%. You cannot expect him to do that every year. It's just not fair. It's also, he's probably going to play more snaps than he did last year. He played a good amount, right? Because he went all the way to the Super Bowl and they won. So it's not like he was just playing a regular season. You have to add that on as well. But when you consider the fact that, okay, he's always been a good pass rusher, then broke out finally and put it all together. And also, like, he was getting sacks against good players. He was smoking bad players. That's really my litmus test. Is like, can you beat the players that are really respectable when you have some kind of success? I'm like, oh, that catches my eye. And if you're going up against a backup, like my dude, obviously it's the NFL. Sometimes you're going to get got, but you better have some convincing wins or I'm going to get worried. That's what you saw from Milton Williams as a pass rusher. If he's not as efficient but continues to grow, then you have that difference-making 3 technique that you need in this 4-down front. When you talk about run defense, this was his worst season as a run defender. It was the first time in 3 seasons that he didn't have 20 defensive stops. So when you think about it, okay, Terrell Williams, renowned as arguably the best defensive line coach in the NFL. You've got Mike Smith. You've got Clint McMillan, 2 guys who have experience working with pass rushers. The sky should continue. The sky should be the limit. His stock should only continue to rise in the system. You got Mike Vrabel, a guy who's going to give you the hands-on work. This is not going to be a place where Milton Williams is going to be able to sit on his hands and be like, oh, I'm paid, I'm good.
Right.
If he does that, he's not going to last very long. They will trade him. And pass rushers, maybe you'll have to eat some of the salary, but you will get moved, So if they felt this confident, I hope they didn't just throw it at him because he's a good player and disregard the background checks. It didn't sound like they were going to do that this time around, so I'm not concerned. But that's why I'm excited, because this guy has been one of the best interior run stoppers and one of the best interior pass rushers. You just need him to get those two sides to combine, little Dragon Ball Z fusion action, make some tanks out of him, and then you're working with something really, really special. Add on to the fact that if Christian Barmore is able to play, that is a terrifying, arguably an elite pair of defensive tackles in the middle. You also talk about Keon White, what he can bring in the interior rush. As I mentioned, Harold Landry, a guy who he's probably going to play next to Milton Williams a lot. They're both probably going to spend a lot of time on the right side of the offensive line. Those two guys, I think, are going to be a great complement. So the Patriots, they needed pass rushers. They needed playmakers. They've added that at different spots, but Milton Williams is the crown jewel. I would be really stunned if he doesn't continue to be a difference-making player for this defensive line. And they're probably going to draft another defensive tackle as well, because Elliot Wolf pointed out the depth in this defensive line class. So this is the piece that you wanted to kind of start things off and make you a respectable front. Now you just got to keep building.
100%. It's great. It's the one where even with the flurry of wide receivers that were potentially available, it kind of felt like those were kind of going to go by the wayside, and we'll talk about those in a little bit here. But like at the end of the day, this felt like the crown jewel of this class for the Patriots that was relatively reasonable. There were reports that they were very much interested in him, and they got the job done, and that was impressive to me. Early on, at least within the first couple hours of free agency, it felt like, hey, is Robert Spillane and Carlton Davis really going to be the big splashes? Like, that kind of stinks. But, they round it. Not that it stinks, because, again, they're good players, but cap space, number one in the league, worst team. Like, you want those splashes, and they actually made it happen with Milton Williams. Super, good on the front office. They actually did it for us here for the first time in the last couple of years that we've waited for it. So
the vibe
I love
shift
it.
Also, that vibe shift.
It
because
really did.
Before we were kind of waiting on the Milton Williams. It's like, why is it
Bingo.
taking so long? You're supposed to be aggressive. What's going on? So it was kind of just like waiting. Oh yeah, a non-Milton Williams signing, not super exciting. And then that Panthers announcement.
Yeah.
My heart, my heart sank. And I was just like, all right, I really don't see how you come out of this free agent class feeling very good. I think you feel okay. But Milton Williams was a guy where I was like, okay, you said you were going to be aggressive, and you did. And they actually did it. The guy was supposed to go to Carolina, and Mike Vrabel was like, no, not today.
Not yet.
Stepped in, lived up to his word, was aggressive, and gave the guy the most money any Patriots ever gotten. Again, for the player, I absolutely love the move.
Yep, good stuff. Great stuff there. So again, Milton Williams, Patriots, in really one of the shocks of the day because of how it went down with the original report of him going to Carolina, made it that much better because fans were probably upset. You missed out on the guy. We talked about him for the last couple months here. And then all of a sudden you swoop in and go get your defensive tackle here of the future.
What's going on, everyone? Tayler Kyles here for CLNS Media with a very exciting announcement. Here at Patriots Press Pass, we will be introducing bonus tiers. Now, this will not affect any of the content that hopefully you've grown to know and love over here at Patriots Press Pass. It's all going to be some brand new stuff and extras so we can connect with you more and also provide you some more in-depth and high-quality content. Hopefully, you guys are going to like it. Here are the tiers and what you should be expecting from all these new bonuses. At Tier 1, we've got Rookie Starter. That'll come with ad-free content, early access to videos, 5% off of all merchandise, and even custom emojis. At Tier 2, we've got All Pro. Once again, ad-free content, early access, 10% off merchandise, custom emojis, but that'll also come with player profile film reviews and draft profiles. At Tier 3, we've got GOAT status. Same as all the other tiers, but it's going to be 20% off of all merchandise, and we're also going to have custom segments, Discord chat rooms with myself and other show hosts, as well as live film reviews with myself and whomever we've got on the podcast for that day, hoping to have some pretty fun guests.